Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Jacob Bed Show. Today, we're gonna be giving you a little short episode where we're gonna review A Quiet Place. Yeah. So Ben,
Yeah, let's
hi
do
there.
it.
I think we're gonna do spoiler free for the first half. Then maybe break it into some more discussion based stuff afterwards regarding specifics and get all spoilery. Is that cool?
That is very cool.
All right.
That's ultra cool.
All right. So do you want to actually?
Yeah,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll start it off real quick because I haven't heard your thoughts yet. I'm excited to hear your thoughts. I'll just start off with just my general thoughts of it, and start off with things I loved of the movie, which was sound design, the score, the acting, just like everything of this movie. I loved. So you know what? I don't even want to talk anymore of what I thought because I'm very eager to hear what you thought of A Quiet Place. So tell me what you think.
Okay, so I went in hearing nothing but amazing things for this movie, including amazing things from yourself. And I gotta say, for the most part, I'm not disappointed, and it lived up to the expectations. For, about the first half of the movie, I wasn't blown away, but it was consistently good. And the movie around, like the last act is amazing. And there are a couple things that happen that are absolutely incredible. And that's spoiler stuff that we're going to get to later. But for the most part, this movie is intense as hell. I think that's the one word to describe it perfectly. It's intense. It's not scary. That's something that I thought it was going to be like terrifying, but it's not in the slightest. It's very suspenseful though, to a fucking T. It handles that really well, and that was a surprising element to it. I didn't expect that level of suspense. Like you said, the sound design is incredible. One of the characters is deaf, so they get to play out scenes from her perspective as well as other perspectives, and that works really well. Because, of course, this movie is very quiet. And
Extremely quiet.
It's very quiet, and they use the quietness to its advantage for sure. They just like you and I were saying, the sound design is incredible, and like a lot of it is just like you hear tapping of feet, or just like their hands moving from the sign language. That's like all the sounds. You'll hear the wind, and there's minimal talking, and it's kind of unnerving watching it because I fidget a lot. So when movies are really quiet and I can't fidget, like I have to just sit there, and like every move I make, like I adjust my leg, I feel like I'm the biggest asshole. So
I'll take it from there real quick, is because considering, like you just said, it's a really quiet movie, and in movie theaters, people tend to fidget, or you're eating popcorn or whatever it may be. And I talked a bit about this with you. And when I seen A Quiet Place, there was this a woman with her son there, and she was just on her phone, laughing hysterically. And maybe she thought some things were funny, but to me, it was more of like she is masking what would have maybe been more of a scare with a very hysterical laugh, which was ridiculous. There was a guy coughing up a lung, and every little thing you could hear. And it didn't take away from the movie, but I was like, if only I could have seen this movie with nobody else in the room, it would have been amazing.
Yeah, I could see that for sure. There was like every cough, every cough in the theater, or popcorn eating is exaggerated that much because there's no sound masking it like there usually would be. So it's definitely more annoying in a theater than most movies would be. But what else is there that's great? I know there's just moments that I want to talk about with you.
There's a lot of moments, but if before we get more into the discussion, to add on of the to me, it's more of a thriller than a horror. There wasn't anything that I thought was really scary, but the thing that makes the thriller aspect to it so much better is the acting only enhances the intensity of each scene. And with a film that you don't have a lot of dialogue, you really need to depend on facial reactions, and I think the cast across the board killed it.
Yeah, definitely. And I think the standout in this movie is Emily Blunt. There are moments where it's just her, because the other characters are elsewhere for whatever reason, and it's just Emily Blunt there, and her scenes are intense as hell. Like what she has to go through, and how she has to perform it is on another level. And I think she's amazing.
And
leaving it, that's what it was. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, like I want to add on to that when we get more discussion. Like, would you want to move on to more of a discussion? Or would you want to point out something that you didn't like or something you wish was better before you move on?
Yeah, sure. I'll do that first. It's just like I saw this movie last night, and I almost wish I had taken notes, even mental notes, because we just kind of got thrown into this review. And I'm thinking, like, right now, I just remember there's a few things I didn't like, but they're almost petty. Just like some of the characters are stupid in moments, but it's like, can you blame the movie for having stupid characters? That's kind of just might be a part of who they are. Like, they're kids. A lot of the stupid moments were kids, and this world is an absurd world for them, so I don't blame them for, being a little dumb in moments. So it almost feels like a non-criticism, but it's just worth pointing out. I know that shit bothers other people more than it bothers me, but I can mention specific moments in the more discussion-y part closer to the end. But this movie is incredible, and I would recommend seeing it if you're a horror fan. Even if you're not a horror fan, my girlfriend and I went. She hates horror movies, but she wanted to see this, and she loved it and wasn't startled too much. Like I said, it's suspenseful as hell, but you're not gonna get like the Conjuring scares or Insidious scares, nothing like that. It's just like on the edge of your seat, kind of gripping your thighs, intense white knuckle stuff. Like,
this movie, if you're just a movie fan in general, you don't have to be a horror fan, a thriller fan, just take that away. If you're a movie fan, it's a movie I think you need to see. And even to the I guess point where I was saying I wish I seen it in the theater with nobody there, seeing it in the theater does give it that added feel to it. Because I guess in a weird way, if I'm going to go around, I guess it was kind of good to have the experience of some people being loud and fidgety, because it put me in the movie more, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I get that.
So I had to pay attention.
I get that for sure. That's like when I walked out of the movie and I was stepping on the concrete, and it was really quiet because I saw the Late Show, so like no one was in the parking lot. And stepping on the concrete, I'm like, fuck, I'm done.
Well, that was something I was thinking throughout this movie, is that, okay, everybody in this movie theater is dead. I maybe live 5 minutes, but I'm gone after that. I thought of this of like, okay, if I were in this world, I'm dead within a day. Because I wake up, I cough, and little movements. I can't keep myself together. That like I would have. I was about to say something, but that might be a spoiler, so I'm not gonna.
Let's get into spoilers. Okay. Do you want to give like a score?
Let's give the. Okay. We could do a score. I want to hear yours first.
Okay. First, I'll just give a little recap. I feel like I'm not summing up exactly everything. Like we've mentioned the sound and the acting, but I think there's more going on in this movie that we're not recognizing.
There is a lot going on in this movie.
It's a slim movie. It's like 91 minutes or something, and they build the world incredibly well. Like you get thrown in whatever kind of disaster thing has been going on. It's already existed for about 89 days or whatever, so you're thrown into it, and there's like little glimpses of here and there about what's happening and what's going on or whatever, and they handle that shit really well. Nothing's really ever beating you over the head. There's never like a lot of exposition thrown in your face. It's all very subtle, and then I love the subtlety about it, because it's ultimately it's not about the events that have happened to the world. It's about just this main family and how it affects them and how it affects their relationships, really. Some of like the best moments are about that, beyond just the creatures, and that's why I think this movie works so well. It's a very human story, and I think I'm glad I said that before we got into the spoilers part, because I was wondering how I wanted to give more of a general thoughts about this movie, and that's it. But I give it like a solid 8. It's a decent to strong 8. So yeah, I check it out right away. It's up there for like top 5 best of the year, top 3 best, but so far, of course.
Okay. Yeah, so I'll just recap some things I said. You've talked more because I wanted to hear more of what you had to say, but just general thoughts is that I think the sound design is amazing. I think it's shot beautifully. I think John Krasinski directs the hell out of this movie. I think even to go on to the lighting, there's some really cool things done with lighting in this movie. The acting, I think, across the board is fantastic, and the score, it's not like a humongous score, but it adds to the movie, and it has moments where you're like, wow, that is amazing. And with the score, I've been thinking about the score because I've seen this. I've seen it a few days ago, and okay, what I'm about to say is I think I don't think it's a divide. All film is subjective, and the way it just hit me, everything worked for me. That I'm gonna have to go to a place I haven't gone in a while, and I'm gonna have to say it easily is my favorite movie of the year. And this is the part where you're like, wow, I'm gonna go a 10 out of 10 for this movie. I absolutely loved it. Wow, and you may think a 10, that's crazy. And hey, maybe in a month by now, it'll go down. I don't think it's going down much. I love the hell out of this movie. Because even when it has, let's say, weaker parts, I don't think it's a weak part. I think everything is consistently good. And when it's great, it is great. So for me, I'm at a 10 out of 10 as of now. And I'm strong on that. It's easily my favorite movie of the year. And I compared it when we talked of... I had this feeling with Logan. When I seen Logan, it just really resonated with me. And that's kind of the same feeling I had with this movie. And it is about this family and being parents, and even kids to that extent. I like the through line of this story. And even to go on to the aliens, the monsters, I thought they were handled in a nice way. It's not a cliche.
Yeah, I was really impressed, especially the CGI.
It felt refreshing. Yeah, and
impressive.
To go on to that, who did the CGI? ILM.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, they did it. So, I mean, if you're wondering why the creatures look really good, it's because of ILM. You know what I thought was interesting when I was watching the credits? It says, like, it's special thanks to, like, Michael Bay. I was like, Michael Bay?
It's his production company.
Okay, so thanks for pointing that out, because I was like, Michael Bay, what the... Huh?
Yeah. Well, Platinum Dunes, I believe, is his production company.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
All right, so that's some good insight there.
Yeah, and I didn't know ILM did the effects, but you keep hitting on how good the score is, and I just wanted to mention that as well, because I mentioned the sound design, but like just the score in general is great, and there's this one theme that's used a few times.
Okay, this is where I think we should go into our discussion. So I'm curious if it's the same thing that points out to me.
Okay,
and
spoilers coming up.
Yeah, okay. Spoilers. I'll give 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Okay. The thing that stands out for me in the score, and I'm curious if this theme pops up, but it stands out in this one moment, and it's probably my favorite like shot and sequence in this film. It's in the third act, and it's when John Krasinski is running to the house with the shotgun, and you see the red lights, and Emily Blunt is in this bathtub, and it's like you see this alien and you're like, what the fuck's gonna happen? And this theme hits when he's running up to this house, and for me that's what I constantly think of, and it came up a few times in the movie. I'm curious if that's the same one.
I'm not sure if it happened in that moment, but it's the only one I can remember repeating. It has like the piano that starts and then it goes into like these strings, I believe. I think it happens when John Krasinski dies.
Okay.
Maybe, I don't know, but I'm sure we're thinking the same one because it repeats a bunch and it's
it
really
comes
good.
up a few times and in a few different variations. Just for me, what stood out, it was like when the rocket goes off and he's running, fireworks, and he's running to that house is what pops out to me.
Yeah.
So
his death.
I seen this. I'll hit this. I'll hit on that in a moment. But when I seen this film, I was like, this is the Cloverfield sequel I wanted to see.
Yes, it felt very Cloverfieldy.
And you know what I read today?
What?
Is that the writers contemplated this as a Cloverfield sequel. And I was like, that makes sense because it totally felt like it could be in that world.
Yeah. That's what I thought right after it finished. I was like, that they could have just added a little some Easter eggs in there and then called it a Cloverfield movie.
Like, easily they could have done that, and that would have been, I mean, I would have much rather that than Paradox. But
that's even what Paradox and 10 Cloverfield Lane was. They didn't start out as Cloverfield movies, but they just tinkered them and then called them that. This movie could have done that easily, and it would have been better than, obviously, Paradox. But
You hit on John Krasinski's death. Yeah, I think it's
probably the best scene in the movie. From that point on, the movie is fucking incredible.
Okay, I gotta ask you. So when the scene before he dies, all I could think of, and there's two spots where all I could think of was just Arnold Schwarzenegger in The Predator. Just, oh, come on, do it now. That's all I could think. And I don't know if that, like, I thought that's all I could think when I seen him with the axe firing it away. And then the thing that really popped out, it was towards the end when they discover how they could kill these aliens. And then it's right at the end when Emily Blunt looks at her daughter, gets the shotgun, and looks up. All I could think of was just Arnold in The Predator. And I don't know if that's just a silly thing that, maybe I'm the only one that thought of that, but I thought that was funny, and it was something I thought of in those two scenes.
I could see how you could see it at the end, because like the whole cocking of the shotgun could be a little cheesy, like an Arnold moment. You know what I mean? When but the ending's so good. The cocking of the shotgun, and
I loved it.
When the music's swelling, she cocks the shotgun, and then her daughter first had the mic and her earpiece or whatever, and then she cocks the shotgun. Oh my god, so good.
I could see why somebody is like, okay, that seems kind of goofy, but it just worked It worked perfectly for me.
Yeah, you know what?
I loved it.
I think it works so well is because they have this shotgun, and Emily Blunt's holding it the whole time and never shoots it, and then she finally shoots it, and like I was waiting for it the whole time, like, fuck yes, the shotgun is badass, and then she cocks it shortly after that. I'm like, ooh, that's what I've been waiting for when I see you with the shotgun.
Yeah.
Even though you don't see the aftermath of that cock of the shotgun, it's so badass.
I think it was such a nice, I mean, it's an open ending, but I think it's so nice. Because, yeah, you leave an option for a potential sequel.
Nah.
But it works so well the way it ends.
Yeah, no, definitely. I am happy they didn't show... I mean, like, I would have been down to see this fight, but, like, that's not what this movie was. And it works so well ending it like that. No, the ending's so good. That ending, whole reveal about, you kind of know what damages them, but you don't know to what extent. Yeah. And she really pushes him over the edge with the whole microphone thing. That was incredible. John Krasinski's death was incredible. Like, those two moments happening near the end were just unbelievable. And I loved when they ran into the man in the forest.
Yes.
The part with all the fires lighting at the beginning.
Even like with the fire, I think like it's just such a nice, like, it's a little thing in the movie, but I mean, it helps you understand the world.
Yeah, I love that.
They're lighting these fires and you're seeing who else is out there.
Yeah, I loved that so much. I kind of wish we saw more people, but like what we got with the fire and the guy in the forest was, perfect. What else was there that is worth noting? Do you want to know just some of the kind of stupid character moments that I thought were a little goofy, but
let's hear it.
I feel like are non-criticisms. Let's start from the end, just because we were just talking about that ending moment when she has what are those hearing aid in? When she has the hearing aid in, and it's like killing her when her and the alien are like duking it out with sound, and it's killing her. I just like, why doesn't she just take it out? Because that was just annoying me, because I'm watching her struggle, and she knows that that's what's killing the alien. So why doesn't she just take it out of her ear? Just was like, I'm not a hearing aid expert, but apparently they do work afterwards, because she had it up to the microphone and it was still working. I thought, just for a little bit, I thought the tension with like the kids on the silo when they were standing up there, and the music was getting all intense, and John Krasinski's like, where are they, or whatever, and he's looking on the cameras, they're not there. A lot of in my head I was just like, why can't they just like sleep there for the night, then just like walk over in the morning, or wait the aliens out? It felt like, just be patient, everyone just relax. A lot of this movie I felt like everyone just relax and we'll deal with it later. But I kind of got over that once I realized like the scene where they fall into it was so good. I get it though, like there's aliens out there, so John Krasinski's gonna panic. The kids, they're not the brightest because they're kids in this world.
Yeah, that's exactly what I think of. Is that if you're a kid in this world and you're like maybe like 10, 12, that if you see an alien, no matter, you're freaking the fuck out, especially after everything you've been through. That for me, it is why something like that worked.
That's what I was saying. Why it's almost a non-criticism. Just like in the moment, it was something that kind of bothered me more than it did. It like reflecting on it bothered me a lot less. What are some other? There's also like stupid stuff where, the fireworks go off and Emily Blunt yells, but like I feel like the yelling when you're in the same house will be a lot louder than the fireworks outside. But like again, this is like weird nitpicky stuff that doesn't bother me as much now as much as it did when I'm watching it. So it's just something I feel like, because this stuff bothers other people a lot more. But I think as a whole, it's irrelevant. I'm not gonna bitch about it.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's pretty much the same thing as I said with the kids. You set up with the waterfall.
Yeah, no, they definitely set it up.
The
but,
loud sound. So
yeah.
for me, it worked, and I actually really liked that scene, personally. And, even the aftermath of seeing that she did have this kid. But I'm okay. This isn't like a criticism of the film, but more of if I'm in that world. If I've already lost one kid, and I know this world, and okay, maybe, you're like, okay, let's have sex you forget about, what comes. I mean, I didn't mean that for a pun, but like, what comes if you ejaculate in this woman, your wife. Okay, if I'm in this world, I'm thinking like, I'm not gonna go there because if I have this kid's gonna cry. It's not gonna shut up. It's gonna be the last kid all over again.
Yeah, I just think, I assume it was an accident kind of thing, but like,
well, it probably was, but even then, like, if I'm in that world, I'm taking like twice as much precaution as in the normal world.
Yeah. See, that didn't bother. Yeah, that's another
for me,
thing.
Like again, it wasn't even something that bothered me about the film. It's just I'm thinking if I'm in this world, I'm being extra careful. So to me, it wasn't like a criticism of the film. Just if I were in that world, in that position, I'd be making sure I wasn't having no kid.
Yeah. But the stuff with the baby is so dark and so sad. Like when they have to like put the oxygen mask on and like leave it in a box.
Yeah.
Like for how many months is it gonna have to just be stored away in that box?
Right.
Like
yeah.
Like that shit is
Longest
dark.
time.
Like yeah. Anyways, I mean, so good.
I think it's a fantastic film, and again, it's a young year, but it's easily my favorite so far.
Well, I mean, yeah, 10. Even if it's not a young year and you still give something a 10,
I mean, yeah, exactly. It's still always to me, it's a movie that I expect to, again, if I'm giving it a 10, I don't assume I'm gonna see 15 other movies that I'd give it a 10 to. So for me, it's yeah, I loved it.
Yeah, and I feel like there's more things I want to say, but like
there's a lot of things to say, but it's like one of those things you have to like you watch it again.
Yeah, I think it's definitely
pick
that.
It apart, look at it through each layer. And
yeah,
there's obviously more to say, but I think for now, I've said enough. I mean, because we're gonna end this, and I'm gonna be like, wow, why didn't I say this or that?
Yeah,
but
yeah, no.
I feel like I've hit on my key things that I want.
Because I feel like I'm telling you how much I like it, and I've given you some things, but like I'm gonna stop recording and not be on the spot and be like, oh shit, should have mentioned that. But you get the general thoughts, and like yeah, I want to see it again, even though it is incredibly sad, and I feel like that watching that moment again with his death is just gonna be like torture. I would love to watch it again.
Yeah, I mean, even that scene, as sad as it is, I do think it is a nice, beautiful moment, especially everything you've set up.
For sure. Yeah, they handle that really well, those two.
Yeah.
The family, it's you don't get like too involved. You don't get too much like backstory about the family, but you understand all their relationships to one another. And when that moment happens with his death, and you have the daughter, he's finally telling her that he loves her. It works so well just based off the information that we've been given in the film. Ooh, you know what? That just reminded me of something I wanted to say that I just suddenly fucking forgot. And that's happened a couple times on this damn show, but that's oh yes. Okay, I remember. I thought John Krasinski's character was gonna die at the beginning, when I forgot about this while I was watching. Yes, I forgot about this while I was watching it, and then it happened. And I was like, "Oh yeah," because I the moment happened, I'm like, "Oh, he's gonna die." I forgot about it, and then the death happens, and I go, "Oh yes, that's right. I remember that." The son and the mom are talking about how it's important that the kid goes out because he's gonna have to take care of her when she's old, or it was when the dad's
Yeah.
gone or something, that he is gonna have to be the one to take care of her. I'm like,
Yeah.
you know what? I
She was
bet
saying,
we're gonna
like,
have to
you
see
gotta
that.
go out. Yeah, you got to go out and learn these things. So when I'm older and I'm gray, that you can take care of me.
Yeah.
Which ultimately.
So I
you see
assume like
what happens.
John Krasinski's gonna die, because then he's gonna have to take care of her. It's not like it's
Yeah.
really obvious, but it's just something I thought of at the moment, and then did happen. This also isn't a bragging thing, because I mean, like, it's not like it was a really profound observation, but
Yeah, Jake. My goodness.
yeah,
You
that.
figured it out then? Oh my god.
Whoa, my cat's going wild. All right.
Well, you know, in other news to mention before we end here is that when we talked, I mentioned that it was so the numbers came out, and this was on Saturday, I believe, and it was looking that A Quiet Place would make 45 million in its opening weekend. It made 50 million in its opening weekend, so that's very good for A Quiet Place.
Yeah, holy shit. Do you know how much it cost to make the movie?
I do not, but I know it wasn't expensive. I mean, expensive to most people, but for
Yeah,
Hollywood,
no, of course,
big
of course.
films, it was not a huge budget.
Yeah, see, I was surprised with how good the creature design was, and how
I know,
great
yeah.
they looked.
Well,
like,
that's the thing. It's a smaller film, and then you see ILM did the effects on the creature. You're
yeah.
like, what?
there is one shot in particular where it's the very first close up of the creature, because you see it like run by and you see it more in the distance, and then there's one shot, the very first shot of its face close up, and I was like, holy shit, because I just assumed the movie was gonna keep it in the dark, keep it farther away from the camera, or running quickly, but they show a lot of close-ups of the face, and like the very first one just like threw me off with how impressive it looked. I was like, just wow. Like,
So I looked up the budget. You
Okay.
want to take a guess at what it is?
I'll say 30 million.
17 million.
Wow.
So to make 50 on its opening weekend, and the budget's 17, it's got to make a hell of a lot of money.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome. All right, I think that's all.
All right, yeah, I've said what I've wanted to say, and if I think of something, there'll be another time I can shout that out. But I love this film. If you're a movie fan, horror fan, thriller fan, go check it out.
Yeah, for sure. That's all, I guess. If you like what Ben and I sound like, and you want to watch our other shows, and you're new here, you're just here for this review and discussion, go watch our main show, which is every weekend. It's it's usually like an hour to 2 hours long, where we cover movie news and whatnot, and just talk movies for
Yeah,
a
it's a
bit.
fun time. Yeah,
Yeah.
you should check it out.
and
It's very fun. It's very thrilling.
Yeah, that's all, I guess. I mean, this has been a fucking laid back review. I feel like this has been the most relaxed review we've done, but hopefully you
I think
enjoyed
so.
it. And go see A Quiet Place, and I give it a 10 out of 10. A lot of quietness and a lot of places. All right. Thank you for watching and listening. Mostly listening.